Alright, Chapter 7, Operating Inspection Report Forms. TM 55-285, War Department Technical Manual, Operating Railroads, General Instruction, Inspection, Maintenance, Rolling Stock. Chapter 7, Operating Inspection Report Forms. General Inquisition has pertaining to the Operating Inspection Report Forms of the rolling stock of the own of the interior of the visual of the maintain of the prepared with the director of the installation responsible for the equipment and theater operation requires maintain reporter or prepare director for the military railway service headquarters included the chapter will instruct them providing in preparation for the operation and inspection reports personnel responsible for the preparation will be guided with these instructions the WD AGO Form 55-154 record of special tests made with the air brake equipment. This will be complete with a triplicate by the person with the change charged with the testing equipment whenever the car to develop with the faulty air brake, the car with the trouble, the delay with the train, damage the wheel, other difficulties with the foreman, particularly the condition of the feed valve, the condition of the compressor, governing of the condition of the tap of the brake valve, the main reservoir safety valve, the condition of the dead man, so for the condition of the air signal equipment and signal brake pipe leakage, single valve condition, reduce the valve condition, the air brake valve complete when the rail motor car with the other type of the self-propelled with the car's equipment, the air brakes are tough. These items will not fill with the testing with the freight with the passenger equipment. Passenger car with the operation, one copy will be retained with the file with the installation, one copy will be retained with the file with the forward of the commander officer of the railway operating battalion, and one copy forward with the railway grand division headquarters in the zone of the interior of the copy of the retaining the file with the installation, two copies of the forward with the zone transportation officer attention zone master mechanic. Alright, the 113, the WGAGO Form 55-155, the AR defect card, figure 114. This will be for the zone interior of the operation in conjunction with the railroad. I subscribe to the Association of American Railroads, the interchange with the provide authority for the repair and interchangeable charge. Cars have the defect with the delivering pipe of the line with the responsible. The form will be complete with a triplicate with the provide with the two paper, the copy of the record purpose of the one cardboard, a copy of the cardboard, a copy of the print with the bolt side of the after complete with the etch. Circle the side with the card, one paper copy with the retained with the file with the originating point with the original paper copy the forward with the zone transportation office attention zone master mechanic. The defect card will be supported with the WDAGO Form 55-241 port of cars damage. The AR defect card is usually filed with the car owned with the railroad subscribe the AR code of rules to damage while the car with the conflict for the government installation include the damage of the derailment by landing of the loading and unloading of the War Department personnel transportation office. The installation will make the installation inspection determine the extent of the damage affixed to responsible for the termination transportation off the accident defective card outlined above will give you the necessary information. If the railroad equipment with the government installation is damaged to personnel under the jurisdiction of the War Department, the transportation officer fixed for the responsibility of the local agent of the railroad, so for the installation in particular to the handle with all the charges of the arrangement directly with the person responsible when the cars are not in governmental installation but are damaged to War Department personnel. And then show the record of special test name of the air brake test equipment, which is Form WAG 55-151, verify record of special test made with the air brake equipment. Officers in charge, personnel responsible for the damage will contact transportation officer of the nearest War Department installation, advise him of all the particulars of the transportation officer for the fix of the responsible to execute the defect cards outlined. See the AR defect card 114. AG 55-156 battery removal application record. This will be completed and duplicated with the person in charge of the battery removal of the application of the cars equipped with the electrical lighting system, including passenger hospital equipment. One copy will be kept with the file and installation. One copy will forward with the railway grand division headquarters within theater of operation or to the zone of transportation officer attention, zone master mechanic and zone interior, and show the battery 55-160-156 battery removal of the application record. WDAG 155-157 the report chain with the car numbers. This will be complete with the triplicate with the cars converted with the one class server the number of the car number of the chain with any with the reason one copy of the pertaining the file with the installation making sure the charge change the theater of the operation two with the copy of the forward with the railway grand division headquarters which will retain one copy of the forward with the other copy of the transportation Washington DC 25 DC with the zone interior with a copy of the sent to the zone transportation officer attention zone master mechanic. One copy will be sent with the chief of transportation for Washington DC 25. Show the report changes in the car numbers as WDAGO Form 55-157, WDAGO 55-158 hospital car inspection repair record. The progressive record of the inspection repairs good War Department hospital cars and will Be maintained on the cars all the time. Suitable hold located with the back of the electrical locker door. Inspectors will initially each of the inspector the him and the person in charge of the will sign with the full name on the inspector of the car, but the complete will be sent with the Railway Grand Division headquarters. Theater operation to the chief transport zone interior of the new card plaque that locked door. Alright, 117. WDAGO Form 55-159. Equipment record of hospital cars provided with the record of batteries, generators, refrigerating unit, other components of the railway hospital. Equipment include the information stuff of the type of the car, the type of the truck, the type of the journal, the car builders. Truck manufacturer will be complete with a duplicate each of the unit of the equipment installation while the cars are signed. One copy will retain one file of the installation while the cars are signed, and one copy to forward with the chief of the transportation zone interior of the Railway Grand Division headquarters of the theater's operation. 118. WDAGO Form 55-160. Record of cleaning water tanks, the hospital, and kitchen cars. This will be maintained the in-cave water tank, drinking water contained with the drain with the cleaning with the carried currently with the holder to provide with the purpose of the all hotel, hospital, kitchen cars. When water tanks are sterilized before the cars are released the shop, the notation sterilized will be made with the caption water tanks given in with the date on which they receive the attention records of the charge on this form will be entered consecutive to the form and in charge of the person doing the work immediately after the work is completed. When the card is filled completely, it will be removed, filled for further reference for the office of the foreman in charge, and a fresh card inserted within the holder. Alright, 119. WDAGO Form 55-161. Air brake defect card. This will be with the car inspection from the train conducted with the tag car having inoperative brakes, so the defective condition will be noticed readily. Inspector with the conductor finding the brakes inoperable car. Defective list on the car attached car with the brake with the brake pipe closed with the triple valve in the zone with the interior with the inspector with the other personnel after completing the repairs. Show the hospital car inspection repair record. And then the second sheet. Equipment record for hospital cars. And this shows a picture of equipment record for hospital cars. We'll make notation repairs on the car with the forward officer of the train with the installation theater with the operation inspector with the personnel with the after completing repairs. Will similar notation for the repair to the officer charge of the brake repairs of the railway operation show the record of cleaning water tank, hospitals, kitchen cars. 120. WDAGO Form 55-162. The inspector record. This will be the car inspector report. All the defects the inspector by them include the car with the defects for handbrakes, cars, equipped with the repair track, the cars, or debris weighing cars, given the inspection with the other purpose of the inspection information theater operation complete with the will be sent with the officer of the charge of the cars repair with the operating battalion and the zone of the interior complete with the will be forward with the transportation off the installation where the inspection were made. 121. WDAGO Form 55-163. Car Inspector Train Report. This will be the Chief Care Inspector for the making of the report with the inspection each for the train arriving and leaving the terminal originating per point with where the cars inspector located theater operation. This will retain on the file by the officer in the charge of the car of the prepared railway operating battalion zone with the interior of the report will be retained on file with the installation. Alright, 122. WDAGO Form 55-164. Bad order card. When this is complete with the car inspector, the other personnel engaged with the inspection railroad rolling the stock train assembly yard. Other place with certain that the cars are safe and suitable condition for the you indicate the equipment that require repairs for further usage. Information required may be written on the pencil that will include with the date, with the number, the name, and the active fact. The plaque card with loaded to empty with the name of the inspector. The side of the car have the words bad order background will be used on the defective condition of the loading of the car and such that it can be moved to destination with the load switch for the district unloading with the before repairs needed. The may of this uniform is also made may be used for forwarding bad car order empty cars with the one shop from the other one repaired to another for the repairs. Cars with the words bad order on the red background will be used to designate cars that are in such effect that they care not to be handled except the repair tracks. Cars on carry with the words light and heavy on each have the marking on the other. The words indicate the whether the car is placed on the light or heavy repair track for necessary repairs. One card will be applied without each of the bad order card. One have the wooden side. The card will be placed below the card number on the cards with the steel side. On the cards placed on the boards provided for this purpose. F. Bad order cards will not be removed from the card until the repair is complete, but then only authorized personnel with the both zone with the interior theaters of the operation inspector responsible for the repairs remove and destroy the car for the clear of the car is ready for service. This is an air brake defect card. 123 WD-AGO Form 55-165 conductor's report with the damage defect of the cars. This will be completed, duplicated with the conductor and show with the train with the divide of the car, inspect with the foreman over the terminal, detail with the information, cover the defect with developing while the cars are en route. One copy will be sent with the foreman inspector and with the trip of the one copy to forward with the commanding officer, railway operating battalion, theater operation commanding with the officer for the installation of the car, terminated with the zone of the interior. 124 WDAGO Form 55-166 report of rolling stock repaired and theater operation completed daily. Duplicate will include all of the cars repaired and health of the repairs and installation. All of the cars repairs made with the bowl shop with running repair points of the day. Reports will be made with the officer charged with the shop with the repair truck for making the repairs. One copy will be retained. The installation one copy will be made forward with the railway grand division headquarters and zone interior report will be prepared with the bowl 16th and the last day of each month. Which will include all cars repaired with during those periods, as well as the numbers of the cars awaiting repair with under repair with the repair for the officer and show of the repair facilities made with the repairs except for the second eagle line. One copy will remain with the installation. One copy will be forwarded to the zone transport officer, since his own master mechanic. Alright, 125 WDAGO Form 55-237, this rolling stock specification card. This form figure 126. This will be used to provide information classification, type, capacity, gauge, build, or other pertinent information for any rolling stock, including freight, passenger, hospital, work, kitchen, workshop cars. When all cars are group type of the class are indicating identical, only one cars will be required for the group. The new car with the correct with indicate exemption. If the recorded data is not available, the information will be obtained with the drawing, specification, inspection of the car, specification of the car, each car with the service. Forward the Railway Grand Division Headquarters and Theaters Operation Chief of Transportation, Washington, D.C., 25 D.C., the zone of the interior. Shows the inspector's record. Our 126 WDAGO Form 55-241 report of cars damaged. This will complete with the triplicate of the cars inspect with the window. The cars are found with damaged condition. One copy to retain with a full file with the installation initiation with the report with the two copy of the forward with the Railway Grand Division Headquarters with the theater operations on interior. One copy retained on file with the installation with the initiating the report. Two copies of the supplemental information AR defect. WDAGA Form 55-155 and the both reports forwarded to the Chief of Transportation, Washington, D.C., 25 D.C. WDAGO Form 468 War Department Unit Satisfactory Equipment Report Figure 128. For this form, Chief is reporting malfunction, design, operational defects, equipment will be completed with the triplicate director of this form. By the person in charge of the maintaining the equipment that one copy to retain with the file with the evidence for the organization, two copies to with the technical for the floor with the Railway Grand Division Headquarters with the leaders for the operation, or to the zone transportation officer of the attention zone master mechanic and zone with the interior. 128 WDAGO Form 55-126 required the receipt with a spare part supplies for the repairs of the U.S. Army hospital cars for Pullman Company or railroads. This request is complete with the train commander maintenance officer quadruplicated whenever there was essential for the security of the ordinary supply, including ice, air conditioning, spare part, repair part, some repairs services with the immediate use of the railroad or Pullman Company for the form will not be used to secure the spare parts of the supply with the style of the original and duplicate copy of the forward with the railroad Pullman Company represented with the triplicate copy of the forward Chief of Transportation Attention Rail Division, Washington, 25 D.C. Quadruplicate copy with the retained with the strip of the unit which cars are assigned. The Office of the Chief of Transportation will be responsible for processing all of the bills and spare parts for the supply of the repairs and for the supply of the railroad and Pull Company with the specific War Department owned hospital cars. Railroad Pullman Company will be submit invoice quadruplicated together with the original WDAG Form 55-126 for the Office of the Chief of Transportation Attention Railway Division, Washington, 25C. You see, Office of the Chief of Transportation check with the invoice submitted with the railroads and ensure that all invoices were submitted that are in accordance with the Association of American Railroad Code regulations governing the addition, repair with the passenger equipment with the interior change, War Department signature with the signatory invoice submitted with accordance with these rules. The big group process with the Office of the Chief of the Transportation with the payment. Office of the Chief of the Transportation check with the invoice submitted with the Pullman Company with by the railroads are not members of the Association of American Railroads and do not show the car inspector form bad order. Conductor's damage report reflective or subscribe the AAR cards, determine the correctness if the found reasonable, the accurate will issue the company purchase order. All hospital kitchen cars will carry supply of these forms. 129 Territorial Department commands installation located outside of the continental limits of the United States, which are under jurisdiction. Territorial Department's command forwarded 2 copies of WDAGA Form 55, 157, and 237, and 468. The Chief of Transportation, U.S. Army, Washington 25, D.C. reports where they are in forward Zone Master Mechanic, Zone Interior Forward Commanding General, Department Commanding having jurisdiction over the installation which the equipment is operated and maintained. 130 requisition forms require requisition form in a normal channel with the junction, general depot, number of services, command limitations of the installation of the continental United limits of the United States, and form of the port of the embarkment junction, general depot with the installation located outside of the continental limits of the United States, and show the report rolling stock repaired. Number of cars shop released, rolling stock specification card, report of cars damaged, unsatisfactory equipment report, request and receive the spare parts, supply, services, repairs, U.S. Army hospital cars from the Pullman Company or railroads. And then it goes in the appendix, and this has been a reading of the TM 55-2285 War Department Operation Railroad General Instruction Inspection Maintenance and Rolling Stock.